guys?
You want to go?
Upwards, step up. Okay, step up.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the book? Oh, okay. Oh, later on, put the book back, the diary. Yeah, that one. Put one here, please. Are we like it? We love it. We end before we start. This is amazing.
Breathe, everyone breathe. Anybody breathe?
Oh yeah. Hey, are we on, guys?
Not yet.
Not yet?
10 seconds. Give them 10 seconds.
Oh, give them 10 seconds. So which camera am I talking to? Pretty much focus on this one. Okay. Okay. Oh, they're on already? Oh, hey! Hello, everyone. It's Jennifer Kale here from Australia, Singapore. And for those who wonder, why are you still here? Well, I've got a question for you. Have you ever been anywhere, say on holidays or visiting friends and family, and then you enjoy yourself so much that you choose to stay? You extend your stay, you extended your stay, and that's what I've been doing. Or you could come back and you keep on coming back to your favorite destination, holiday destination, or your family and friends. And that's what I've been doing with Success Resources. I cannot keep away. It's so much fun here. And I can't wait to share with you some of the guys that I get to hang out here who makes my days absolutely amazing and enjoyable. Now Richard usually is on this time slot to do a power talk, but because he is on the plane somewhere to something else that's just as equally important, I'm just going to entertain you guys for the next hour or so. So let's see. So yesterday, for those who joined us yesterday, Richard talks about, I just want to quickly revise. I'll talk slower. I've been talking slower. So Richard talks about assets and liability. Okay, so he talks about, so just for all those who haven't seen the live stream yesterday, please go in, have a look at the live stream, because that man is amazing. He can make the most complicated things simple. And what I take away from it yesterday was this assets and liability. And he talks about asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. That's an asset. Liability, if you purchase it and it doesn't put money in your pocket, that's a liability. That's the short version of it. So now the other thing that Richard talks about is definitely being rich versus being wealthy. So Richard talks about being rich is when you have lots of money and you can do whatever you want, but you actually don't have the freedom of time. It's when you have the time freedom that you can live without being wealthy. Means that you can do whatever you want with whoever you want, whenever you want, without going to work, and your lifestyle does not change. So being wealthy is a little bit different than being rich. And you want to go into more details, again, go back and watch that video from Richard. I promise you, it's amazing. Yesterday, he also touches on one thing that I find it's extremely important, and he talks about his mentors. Now, for all of you who want to learn from the best, because Richard, let's face it, Richard has access to the best of everything he wants, as far as in the space of education, correct? Richard has access to these people, and access is very important. I'll go into it a little bit further later down the track. I'll talk to you a little bit more about the importance of access. But for now, if you want to have access to the teachers that Richard has access to, that allowed him to have to achieve abundance in success, in his family life, in work life, balance, in all these things that he chooses to do, what he wants to do, whenever he wants to do it in, then you now have the opportunity to have access to the same teachers that Richard has access to. He calls them mentors. Some of us like to call them teachers. Some of us like to call them mentors. And he said yesterday that Tony Robbins coming into Singapore in September, and in October, Robert and Jay Abraham is coming in. So to explain to you guys a little bit about what's coming up, if you want to have the same mentors, you want to share the same mentors as Richard, then I'm going to invite someone to talk to you about that in the event in details. Now, however, if you're wondering what I'll be talking about today, and I'm not going to be talking about could I be talking about property? Could I be talking about sales technique? Could I be talking about social media? I promise you, it's going to be something very, very exciting. And I cannot wait to share with you why I keep coming back over and over and over to Success Resources. And so, without ado, I'm going to introduce Adam first. Okay, so Adam is one of our amazing sales staff. So Adam, would you like to come in? Adam!
Hello.
See?
Hi, hello.
No, Adam, come over here. Not only, see, Richard always talk about, who was he talking about the other day? Yes, you're good looking. But I think, look, we think Adam's good looking too, right? Come on, Adam, go closer to the camera, show him the smile, the Adam smile. Okay, cool. Not only is he good looking, but he's actually very helpful. So whatever it is that you want to know or you need to know about any Success Resource program, Adam is one of the guys. He's very helpful. And he now is going to prove to you how helpful he is by explaining to you a little bit about what's coming up with Success Resources.
Sure.
Okay,
Do I
cool.
need the mic or-
I think. Oh, I'm gonna stand here and be the flower for you. I've got the mic, so I want to make sure that you can hear it.
Okay. All right. Okay, so that's great. Thanks for the introduction, that lovely introduction by Jennifer. I hope you guys got some value from that. Now, what I'm talking about, Success Resources, we operate around the world. We hold about 500 events around the world every year. So in Singapore, we have a couple more events coming up. Of course, there's Tony Robbins, the #1 life strategist in the world, coming to Singapore, 6th to 9th of September. I went last year as a paying customer. It was amazing, really life-changing event. And I'm sure you've also shared with us that you went with yourself. You got
Your daughters, I brought my daughters because
Excellent.
it's an amazing thing to do it together as a family.
Exactly.
So for those who is young and you wanted to do it yourself, the girlfriend or the boyfriend, and for those who has a family, I suggest this is a family event. It really is, and I'll explain a bit furthermore. But go on.
Yeah, and so the second event that we have is going to be happening in October 23rd to 24th of October. We're going to have the original author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, coming down to Singapore in a multi-speaker event we call the Master of the Century. It's going to be an excellent event. We've got to have Jay Abraham, marketing genius. We have this guy. You're gonna love him. You're gonna love him. Naz Daly, the 1-minute vlogger. He's now living in Singapore. He's coming. We're working exclusively with him to talk to on our stage, and we have some other special guests coming up, which we'll reveal to you a bit later on.
Yes, you don't want to let them know everything. Come on. It's not good to know everything. It's good to know some things, and then you want to be surprised and you get excited, right?
Exactly.
There's always room for more.
Okay, so anyway, one of the things about this particular format, this Power Lunch Talk, is that we really want to reach out to you guys. We want to, because we have so much information about success, and Richard Tan always talks about success. Success leaves clues. So we want to be that sort of gateway for you guys to get this information to become successful in your life, in your personal life, professional life, family life, whatever it is. So if you're enjoying the talk, this series, leave a like or leave a comment below. Let us know, any feedback, every feedback is great. Just let us know if you're enjoying it, what topics you like to cover, so that we in the future can help you out.
Yes, definitely. Because we are creating that trail, isn't it? Success leaves a trail. So we're leaving an information trail for everyone.
Exactly.
Because we'd love for people to come on this success journey with us, don't we?
Exactly. And this is not just for Singapore. This is for around the world, everywhere. We have, like I said, we operate in 35 countries around the world. And hey, if you're watching this right now live, put in the comments below where you're watching it from. You're watching from Singapore, you're watching from America, you're watching from wherever, Fiji, anywhere. If you're watching this on replay, let us know on replay. Just typing in the comments, replay down there as well.
Correct.
So some things that we can help you with, if you're having problems with how to manage your finances, if you're having problems how to be more productive, or having problems overcoming procrastination, these are the topics that are very common topics that we would like to help you out. So if these are some things, or there's anything else you want us to talk about, hey, let us know. Today we have a really fantastic speaker. He's my senior in the sales department. His name is Brennan Cole. So he has 3 managing principles that he lives his life by. So he'll be sharing with you 2 of those principles today. And I've heard this before, and they're really fantastic. And I believe that this is extreme value for you guys, and you're going to get, even if you employ one of these 2 tactics in your life, it's going to make such a difference.
I know, but how exciting is that? Why employ just one? If you have it, employ all 3, I'd say.
That's right, yeah.
So I can't wait to see Brand, or well, we call him Brand, but he's Brendan. So, very sweet. So, he's going to come and join us soon. Will he be able to be available to join us soon, Adam?
Yes, he's on his way.
We're looking for him.
He's on his way.
Very busy man, but we're looking for him. We want to make sure that we're bringing the best to you. And I just want to share with you guys on how, why. It's like being surrounded by these people. That's why I'm back, and I keep on coming back, right? So, Brandon, where are you, Brandon? Woo! Here comes
Hi. How are you guys? Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, how are you? Good to
good.
see you again. So, we're very excited to hear your 3 pointers.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So,
Maybe I could actually.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll give it to you for a
Oh,
second,
thank you.
but
Thank
I'll
you
just
so
stay
much.
here because it's attached to me.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. That's fine. That's fine.
Maybe-
We'll just make do. We're very good with making do. That's fine. Do you need to walk?
Yeah, because I might need
hold
to
on.
use the thing. It's okay.
All right.
We'll do a bit of switcheroo there.
Yeah, that's right. I'll just
Give us a
follow. I'll
second.
just follow him around,
Follow me around.
or I can have someone help me to detach
Thank
this.
you very much. Thank you very much. So while
Okay,
Jennifer is getting
perfect,
detached,
perfect.
oh wait,
I am detaching,
will
and
detach
I am
and she will
attaching.
attach me. Thank you very much.
This is lovely.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you.
great.
Brilliant.
Hold on, honey. I'm just
Thank
going to put it in
you.
your pocket.
Oh, yeah,
There you go.
brilliant.
That's quicker.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
cool.
Thank you, Jennifer. Good afternoon, everyone. So glad to be online, live. And thank you, Adam, for that wonderful introduction. So let's see. Well, maybe before I even begin what we're going to share today, I'm really honored and blessed to be part of Success Resources. I've been attending seminars since 12 years ago, way back in 2007. And I remember when I attended my very first seminar, I had I had no clue. I was reading this book, right? And it gave me a ticket to enable me to attend one particular seminar called Million MI Intensive, which incidentally, we just ended it over the weekend. And what happened was when I attended the seminar, boom, there was 5,000 people that was at that seminar. Now, at that time, I've never been to any seminars in my life. I think the largest group of people that I've ever been to is to watch a song. So yeah, when I attended the seminar, I was blown away. I've never seen so many people at a particular seminar with one speaker in front just sharing about his successes. And that's what Success Resources is all about. The reason why we started the company 26 years ago is because Richard, our chairman, and Veronica, his wife, wanted to create a platform, because success breeds success. And we know that knowledge is everything, right? And knowledge is power. So at the end of the day, we wanted to create a platform to enable people that are successful to come onto our platform to share with everyone, just to share with them what their success is all about, how they achieve their successes. What was their strategy? What was that one thing they did that was different from everyone else on the streets? Right. And of course, at the end of the day, just knowing this knowledge is not enough. There's something else that you need to do, which I'll share with you later. So maybe before I start, I could share a bit more about myself, so at least all of you know me slightly better, right? Well, my name is Brennan, or Bren Core, as most people call me here, Bren. I've been with Success Resources since last year. I'm part of the sales team together with Adam. Got a huge sales team here, about 10 of us all over. And for me, I handle corporate. I try to get corporate partners involved to collaborate. So I am looking for more partners, Success Resources. We are looking for more partners to work with, to collaborate with. Now, if you are part of a company, even if you're alone as an entrepreneur and you'd like to partner Success Resources, please contact me. Later on, we'll give you our contact details, where you can search for me online on Facebook under Brand Call. And we'll be able to connect with you and to see how Success Resources can work with you to bring your company to the next level and to enable more people out there to be successful. Now, over the last 12 years, and I've attended tons of seminars, right? There were a few seminars that really hit me. And up to today, I'm still using what I've learned. In fact, every so often as I go through life, at work, at play, in my relationship, in my friendships, there are times where suddenly I remember something I've learned like many, many years ago, and I'll go like, oh, wow, I can't believe I remember what was taught many years ago. Now everything that's always been shared, I believe that knowledge, there's two things in the world that nobody can take away from us. And one is knowledge, and the other one is experience, right? Because knowledge, look, once you learn something, in a way you cannot unlearn it, or it's very difficult. For example, all of us know how to eat, right? It's probably the most basic thing. Or rather, all of us know how to breathe, right? Do we need to be taught how to breathe? Well, breathing, I think, comes kind of like that. But even recently, my uncle, he suffered from this condition called COPD, right? You can go Google it. It's a lung issue, and what happens is, COPD actually sort of caused him not to be able to breathe. Right, his body was willing, or rather, his body wasn't willing. His mind was willing to breathe, but his body wasn't willing. So literally, he could not breathe. Right. So what happened? He needed a machine to help him to breathe. Right. No, COPD was something that I've never heard of it in my life. Now, when my uncle got it, it hit me really hard. I mean, because he's one of my closest uncle, and for him to get COPD, I received a group text in my family chat, and one of them told me, hey, uncle's got COPD, is hospitalized. I dropped everything and went to see him. And when I saw him, he was tubed up and everything with a machine. The machine was literally helping him to breathe, right? And it was then that I realized that, oh wow, life is so precious, because anytime it can be taken away from us like that, and then when that happens, then more often than not, people always say, oh wow, he's lived a good life, or like, oh wow, he did such and such a thing, but oftentimes when we have such things happen in our life, just like it happened to mine, it made me think that, what else have I not done in my life? What else do I have to achieve in life? What else? How many more people can I help? How many more people need the knowledge that all of us have? Now I've got some knowledge. You have got some knowledge as well. I always believe in learning from everyone, right? And at the end of the day, for example, today, let's say if you're driving a car, right, and your car breaks down, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? No. Are you going to call the plumber, or are you going to call a mechanic to come and help you? Right? Of course, you're going to call a mechanic, right? But today, if let's say you're at home washing plates and all that, and your plumbing goes crazy, right? Water starts spilling everywhere and all, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters again? No. Are you going to call a mechanic? Of course, you're going to call a mechanic, right? So all of us have different skill sets from our knowledge that we learned. And I truly believe that, look, at the end of the day, whatever knowledge that you have, just go share your knowledge, share your success, right? So that at the end of the day, you'll be able to help more people out there, touch more lives, and we can really help make this world a better place for everyone to live. Is that good? I hope it's good. Now, so over the last many, many years, I've lived my life according to quite a number of a lot of principles, right? And I've got a lot of mentors in my life as well. And through attending all the seminars, I remember one particular seminar that I went to. I learned about 3 managing principles, right? And since then till now, I've been using this managing principles. Of course, I try to use it and walk the talk almost every other day. It's not easy, I'll admit to you that, because I'm not perfect, right? But I'm always reminded, and every time I'm reminded, it's also when I share. So the more you share, the more people will be reminded. Like yourself, you'll be reminded of what you remember, right? So today I want to, when I was asked by the team to, hey, come on board, can you share some information, share some of your knowledge, share some of your experience? The first thing I thought of, that I said, hey, I want everyone to be able to learn these 3 managing principles, right? Because I really feel and believe that, today, if you really take action and you live by these 3 principles, it will change your life, I promise you. Whether be it your work life, your family life, your personal life, your love life, in fact, as well, your career life, investment life, your health life, everything, it will help you to change your life. Now, yesterday, I was having a chat with a good buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, a good client of ours, and he was sharing that, look, at the end of the day, all of us have got different parts in our life, right? Now, if you can imagine a circle, right? And if you break up the circle into different sort of pie charts, right? Along all these areas, in the areas of health, in the areas of financial, in the areas of let's say relationships like love, right? In the areas of career. Now, if you break into all these areas, right, and then let's say 100% means you draw like a full pie chart, right? If you break it down into all these areas, chances are we'll not get a full circle because there's always improvements to be made, right? My circle is not full as well, right? Oftentimes people are good at one thing but lousy at another. It's not easy to find someone that's a perfect full circle. Now, if you can be a perfect full circle, I think you'll be God already, right? So I got all right. So like I said earlier, different areas, right? Different many areas that we talk about. Let's say. Right. I think these four areas: health, finance, family, and career. It affects everyone, right? In your life, right? Whether be it health, all of us need our health, right? I always believe people always say health is wealth, right? Without your health, you can forget about wealth. And I remember, people were always yesterday during that talk I have with my buddy, you're sharing me that look, it's not about being wealthy, right? It's not about being financially wealthy, because at the end of the day, what does wealth mean? To some people, wealth means 1 million. Other people means wealth means 2 million, right? Today, we always talk about, hey, be a millionaire, do whatever you can to be. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be financially free. I want to have passive income, right? And people talk about, right? Let's say today, once you're a millionaire, what next? Then you look at, oh, well, now that you're a millionaire, let's be a 2 millionaire, double millionaire, right? Companies are always looking to improve, right? At the end of the year, every year at the AGM, companies will always go, hey guys, this year we hit our target. Fantastic, let's celebrate, right? And then next year during budgeting or during the planning, we talk about last year we hit whatever, 10 million. Next year, let's hit 12 million. Let's hit 20 million, double up, right? It's never enough, because we are always constantly improving, and we have to constantly improve, right? So at the end of the day, I feel it's not about being financially wealthy, but it's about being financially healthy, right? Because if you're healthy, anything is possible, right? Without health, wealth is nothing. So health is very, very important. Of course, then once you're healthy, this will come on as well, being financially healthy. Family, extremely, extremely important, right? Because at the end of the day, to me, family is everything, right? Without family, you can forget about everything. But family absolutely is always important, always give love, always share with your family and friends as well. I always, it's oftentimes when things happen, disaster happened. Just like yesterday, our colleague this morning just came to us to tell us that, yesterday one of his really good friends, his good buddy, was called into the hospital. He almost had a stroke, just like that, he could be gone. 2006, I lost 4 people in my life. 2 people was due to sudden death syndrome. Today they are here, tomorrow they're gone, immediately, right? And then when things like that happen, I always think, lots of regrets, like I could have told them I loved him. I could have told her I love her, I should have done this for you. At the end of the day, always remember, forgive and forget, right? And then live life. So family and career, of course, all of us are working for or doing something, right? All of us are working in order to get what we want, right? So career is absolutely important as well. So these are just 4 basic items I always talk about. But the 3 managing principles. Now, I'd like to share with you 3 managing principles that I live my life, my career life, my work life, my family life, my love life by. And the first managing principle is Okay, so the first managing principle. Right, so the first managing principle is think 2 steps ahead. Think 2 steps ahead. Now, what does this mean? It literally means you have to think how many steps, 2 steps ahead of everything you do, right? Very simple example. For example, when I was told by my colleague that, hey, Bran, today on a Tuesday at 1 p.m., you will be appearing live on Facebook Live, and you have to share something, share some topics that you have learned. Think 2 steps ahead meant what? I went for lunch earlier at 12, right? Because why? I thought 2 steps ahead. Normally my lunch, I go like 1:30 or whatever. But I thought 2 steps ahead. I prepared in advance. It's almost like, let's say like in times of war, you're about to go to war, or let's say you have a competition coming up, right? Like one of my colleagues actually went to run 50 kilometers just 2 weeks ago, and in order to get into the competition, now if today I tell you, hey guys, let's go run 50 kilometers tomorrow, what will happen? Chances are you're not going to be able to make it. So think 2 steps ahead. You have to prepare in advance, right? It's going to happen. Prep in advance, plan, strategize, and then take action, right? As simple as that. You just have to think 2 steps ahead. Now, when I say think 2 steps ahead, a lot of the times when I share this learning with a lot of people, some people that sort of learn this at the start, or maybe I call them maybe a bit more junior stuff, right? They will think literally just 2 steps ahead, or maybe even 1 step ahead, right? When you're talking to people like, let's say, Richard, our chairman, right? Or CEO types, vice presidents, or even the president, right? Our presidents of all the country. What do? They think not just 2 steps ahead. They think 5, 10, 20. Some people even think 100 steps ahead, right? They're not planning for later, right? Like just now, I thought I should go lunch at 12. So at 12, I went for lunch thinking about my 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock Facebook Live presentation, right? That's thinking 1 hour ahead. In fact, I didn't really think 2 steps ahead. I thought 1 hour ahead. But presidents, VPs, presidents, and all that, top people, CEO types, they think many steps ahead. Literally, what they're doing is they are thinking many steps ahead. They're planning for next year. They're planning for 5 years. All of you would have gone for some interview in your life, right? Or sometime. If you haven't, then go for an interview, right? But oftentimes when you go for interviews, one of the most common questions your future employer would want to ask is, what do you where will you be in 1 year's time? 1 year's time, all right. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time, right? That's thinking 2 steps ahead, like 10 years ahead, 5 years ahead, right? It's like, all of us have gone for primary school education, secondary school education, right? Some of us after that go on tertiary education, right? Either you go for like a 2-year degree, 4-year degree course, or 2-year diploma course. After that, some people go for their masters, doctorate, so on and so forth, PhD, right? Now, primary school in Singapore is 6 years, right? So when your parents signed you up before the first year, literally they were thinking 6 years ahead for you. Why? Because over the next 6 years, you're going to be studying primary school, right? After that, there's 4 years secondary school. What happens after primary school? Your parents signed you up for another 4 years, right? So they thought 4 years in advance, right? So that's 10 years. So literally, they've kind of like, I can even say that the Singapore government has thought for everyone, all the babies that are born, they've thought for the education system, they've thought about everyone for about 12 years in advance, or maybe 14 years, right? So that's thinking 2 steps ahead. Now, so what's next? The second managing principle is okay. Now the second managing principle. Second managing principle is check. Second managing principle is check. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that, hey, at the end of each month you have to make sure that you get your check, like your money, like your salary, right? That's not check. And that's also, a different spelling. That's CHEQUE. This check basically means, let's say when you give an instruction, or when you want someone to do something for you, or let's say when you want something to happen, make sure you check. Say for example, right? All right, just before I came on live on Facebook Live, I needed to check to say, hey guys, do I have a microphone, or whose microphone am I going to be using, right? Not only that, after I put on the microphone, right, I have to, if I say check, that means I have to check to see whether the microphone is switched on. Incidentally, I better check. Is my microphone switched on? I hope so. Oh no, it's not. No, it is. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so that's check, right? This is to ensure that it's almost like think 2 steps ahead as well, right? Because think 2 steps ahead, you are thinking to make sure you're waiting for something that's going to happen, right? Check is you ensuring that what you thought of is going to happen will happen. For example, let's say check. It could be as simple as I say, hey guys, this Saturday, in fact, this Saturday we're gonna have a seminar, right? Check meant have you prepared the stationery, right? Or for example, let's say a simple case of, let's say, oftentimes when we run our seminars, for safety reasons, we tape up all our wires, right, with a tape, right, on the floor. So let's say what might happen is I might see some wires, unravel or frazzle over there. I'll say, hey, colleague, John, could you help me take those wires there? Then he goes, yeah, okay, Brent, I'll do it, no worries. And then I'll go on to do something else, right? Check means I go back and check to make sure that the wire has been taped. Either that, or I should go back to John to say, hey, John, have you taped those wires, right? For me, I always like to check the end product. End product meaning, I've asked John to tape those wires. I would literally go check those wires to ensure that they are taped according to my standards, right? Because taping wires is one thing, right? Taping wires properly to a certain standard is another, right? So let's say I go back and check, and then I find out that, hey, those wires are not taped properly. I will go back then and ask John, hey John, how's those wires going? Have you taped them? If he's taped them, he'll say, yeah, Brent, I've taped them. Obviously, whether it's taped or not, I would know, because why? I've checked, right? But if I check and those wires are not taped, instead of me going to tape them, which is normally what I'll be doing last time before I found out about the 3 managing principles, the idea is do not do for the person what you have told the person to do, right? The reason is because, there's 2 schools of thought with that, no right or wrong, right? My reasoning is that, look, today if I ask someone to do the job, I say, hey, can you go tape it for me? He goes, yeah, Brent, I'll get, no worries, right? It's not done. Or he's taped them, but not according to your standard. He's done like a half job on it, right? Now, if I were to go and tape it according to my standard and leave it, the job is done, it's true, right? But has he learned? He hasn't, right? And at the end of the day, he hasn't improved, right? So at the end of the day, like I said, sharing knowledge with people is to ensure that the other person improves their lives, improves themselves. So what I'll do is I'll go tell John, hey John, I checked out that the tape hasn't been taped properly, or it has been taped, but it hasn't been taped up to standard, right? Can I show you how to do it, or do you know how to do it? If he goes, yeah, I know how to do it, I'll get it done later, right? Fine, I'll leave it, let him do it. I'll go back to check with him again. John, hey, have you done it? Now if he's done it and he's done a good job, I would acknowledge, hey John, thanks for that. It was a great job. That is the standard that we want, right? Second time, if he still hasn't done a good job, what I do, I will then tell him, hey John, can I show you how to do it properly? The reason is because there is a certain standard that we have to keep with our company or with whatever that we're doing, and I want to ensure that you do it properly so that you would also be of a certain standard as well. And then I'll show him how to do it, right? And after I show him how to do it, I'll let him do it as well, right? So the whole idea is always I do, you do, we do, right? It's also a certain principle. In fact, it's another principle. Now, it's not the third managing principle, but it's something else that I teach as well, right? I do, you do, and finally, we do, right? So the whole idea is, before I want someone to do something, I have to do it first myself, right? So that I know exactly how it is done. It's like almost like saying, get down and dirty, right? Because today, if I tell you, hey guys, you know what? Why don't you guys go do bungee jumping? It's awesome. It's exciting. It's fun, you know. But I've never done it in my life, for example, right? And truth is, I've never done bungee jump. Right? I've done something else, which I'll share with you tomorrow. What I've done before, which is probably scarier than bungee jumping, at least to me, right? Then I've got kind of like no right to tell you, hey, go do bungee jump. You know, this was how I felt. It was awesome. The truth is, I've never done it, right? But what I could do is I could latch on my friend's experience. Say, my friend has done it. Let him share with you. You know, there's nothing like sharing your own experiences. So I do, and then after that you do. You know, so for example, you know, incidentally, I do is also what couples say to each other when they want to get married. I do, right? So like I do, I'm already married. So single ladies, I'm so sorry. There are other single men out there, which I think later on I will introduce you to, where you can, you know, have a chance of getting to know them better. Lots of nice guys at Success Resources. So I do, it's when you say I do, that means I do it. After that, you do, that means you have to learn how to do it yourself, and you have to do it, right? Of course, the person giving the instruction will then watch to make sure that you do it properly. Just like John, whom I say, hey, go tape up the wires. John goes, yeah. You know, giving proper instructions so that I don't waste time will be, let me show you how to do it. This is how you do it. I'll tape the first wire. This is the standard, right? After that, John, can you show me how to do it? John would then tape up another wire to say, yep, you know, I've done it. Second person, I've done it. And then we do, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we are all doing everything together. We are all in the same company. We are all, you know, in the same project together, right? And I mean, oftentimes at the end of the day, all of us in the company were doing different parts, leading up to the same objective, right? So it's almost like, you know, hey, I do my part, you do your part. Together, we do our part, right? To bring the company to the next level, to bring the project to the next level, right? So essentially, yeah, that's how this whole thing works. I do, you do, and we do. Very, very, very powerful, right? So the thing is, I've got, let me see, the 2 managing principles, think 2 steps ahead, right? Check. And well, this is not part of the 3 managing principles, but you can call it like the I do, you do, we do principle, I guess. There's no term to this, but it's just something that came out of my head that I suddenly felt like, hey, you guys need to learn this as well. I do, we do, you do. This is very simple. I think this can be used for giving instructions, to make sure that things are done properly. Very simple thing. For example, right? Like let's say, simple thing, right? We bought a new washing machine last year, right? So I didn't know how to use it, right? So I went to read the instructions. I learned how to use it. So I showed my wife. I said, "Hey, wife, come. This is how you wash the clothes, right?" Hoping that she'll wash the clothes for me next time, right? So I learned how to do it. I showed it to her. I said, "This is how you wash the clothes. This is how you work the machine, right?" So I'll do it first, and then after that you can do it. So once I showed her how to do it, I asked her. I said, "All right, now you do it." So she would do it. She would switch on the machine, put the clothes in, and then after that, obviously we do it together. We put the clothes in together. She does the, then we'll basically is doing things together. This can be used in your love life, your relationships, your friends, in your work life as well, with your work colleagues, right? At the end of the day, is to do things together to achieve the goal together, because man does not live on this earth alone, right? We've got how many people now on earth? 6 billion or 7 over billion, 7.6 billion people on earth. We don't live on this earth alone. Knowledge is everywhere, and all of us are unique. We have lots of experiences to share, lots of successes to share as well, and also more importantly, a lot of failures, right? To me, success doesn't come like that. It comes from many times of trying. One of my mentors once shared with me that, what did he share? He said, every master was once a disaster. Every master was once a disaster. right? And I remember I shared this with one of my partners before, one of my buddies, and he became a CEO of a company, right? And after he became a CEO of a company, a deputy CEO of a company, I remember one fine day we were having coffee, and then he shared with me, say, Bren, remember, when back then when I was a student at the seminar, and then you're trying to ask me to join the seminar, I remember you shared with me once before I decided to partner up. You shared with me that, hey, Bren, a wise person once told you, your mentor told you that every master was once a disaster. Is that audio? No? Battery? No battery? Oh. Let it just stop. The light will come on.
No?
Can you guys hear me? Hello? Testing. So, do I start right from the start? That's what 40 minutes of footage. Hi, my name is Brennan, and thank you for coming down to our live talk. Is that from the start? No? When do I start? Last 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes was probably all right. So what did I talk about? Let me see. Oh yes. Hey, thank you. What did I talk about last 2 minutes? Oh, I remember now. Oh yes. Well, I was all of us have got different knowledge, different success in his brain, and then since then he's failed many times, but because he failed so many times, he became the CEO of a public listed company, and you never know, things you say to people, it might change them, it might affect them anytime, right? So oh, is that no more battery? Is that me? Can you hear me?
Once again,
Once again? Is it battery? Oh, hang on a second. I should do sign language as well. Oh, you can? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. So tell me, because I know a bit of sign language, a little bit. Okay. So those are the three managing principles, and also I do, we do, you do. I've got one more managing principles that I'd love to share with you tomorrow at the next Power Talk. But before I go, I'd like to introduce the next person that will come on stage, right? So who do we have next? It will be, it's Jennifer again, the lovely, beautiful Jennifer.
Thank you.
Let me get this fluffy thing off
Yes.
me. Jennifer.
Love.
So can I just share a bit about Jennifer? Is that okay? So
It depends on what you say, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
I'm always good. I mean, the question is, it's going to be good or bad?
This is always good,
Well, we just don't know.
Yeah. So Jennifer, I mean, this lady, when I first kind of met her, or when I saw her, was at last year's. We had a kick-off dinner, like a Chinese New Year dinner, and there was this there was this kind of like, if I use the word boisterous in a good way, like really loud lady, with a thick Aussie accent, and because I studied in Australia, I was in Australia, so I was like, hey, there's someone from Australia here, so I was looking around, so I saw this lady, and she's got a wealth of knowledge. I could tell she was literally beaming. Sometimes when you meet people, there are some people that you meet in life where you go like, oh, there's something bugging you, something not right, like, why are you like, you walk like that, your shoulders are shrunk. But this lady was like, hey guys, what's happening? Hey, how you going? Just full of life. If you look in the dictionary under the word zest, Z-E-S-T, chances are you might find her name there, like Jennifer Cow,
Yes.
zest.
See, Brent, I'll pay Brent later.
Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. All right. So anyway, enough of me. Thank you so much for watching me, not for watching me.
Well,
Not
don't know
watching
how
me.
his wife's going to feel about that. Washing
It's
him.
about watching, We're talking about watching earlier. But thank you for watching us. I hope you have learned quite a bit. Tomorrow I hope to share more with you. But over to you now, Jennifer.
Thanks, Brent. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to make it very quick. Firstly, I talk fast anyway. So let me see. We're going to try and move this a little bit so you guys can see. I hope that they're not seeing it backwards or anything. Okay, so today what I'm going to talk about is I'm talking about education and why education is the ultimate infinite return. Yesterday, I'm sure that you have heard. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just going to move it a little bit. Is this good now, guys? Yes? No? Okay. Sorry guys, okay. Yesterday Richard was talking about Robert Kiyosaki, and Robert and Kim, I know they love achieving infinite return when it comes to property. So now, attended a Robert Kiyosaki event, you should, because he will discuss with you about infinite return when it comes to property, and also how to achieve ultimate wealth. So for us today, however, I want to apply the same principle, the same infinite return principle to education, and why I love Success Resources, and why I keep coming back and back and back. And the reason why is the value is very aligned with myself. And Success Resources value is to change life globally through education. And I always believe that education is the fundamental, it's the foundation of everything. Right? And Richard talks about mentors yesterday. So while we haven't got, I mean, we all know the importance of time. And time is something that we cannot have more of. We cannot, but if we lose money, we can definitely, if you go bankrupt today, tomorrow you can make more money and you can get that money back. With time, when you've lost time, you cannot get that time back. However, we can leverage of someone else's time through and have their knowledge and learning through what we call education, or better still, mentors. Education, if you want to think about it, it's like group lessons. Mentor, sometimes it could be like a private lesson. So you kind of go into a certain group where they talk specifically on certain issues, whether it's social media, property, finance, mindset, whatever. But today I'd like to mention, I want to talk to you on why I think education is the ultimate infinite return. It is a must. And why do I say that? We all grew up, we all went to school. For those who's blessed, I mean, some people in third world country are not so blessed. They don't have the opportunity to go to school. So for us, going to school, attending class, kindergarten to year 10, year 12, that's pretty normal. And we kind of feel like, oh, you know, I just go to school, I hang out, I do my thing, I do my math, my English, my science, whatever. And that's some component of education. But however, I find that as soon as they leave school and they go outside, they don't understand anything about their mindset, about what I would probably call life education. And this is where Success Resources come in. They connect you and they link you, they give you access. Normally, it's very difficult to have access to the best of the best. But how do we get access to the best of the best? Because we leverage of Richard's access to the best of the best. So because Richard promotes the speakers, we get to attend. Because if not, how do we have access? And access is a key thing. And to talk about the word access and how important, I know that a lot of time that we kind of see the event and we don't think twice about how important the event is. But accessing an event like this is life-changing to a lot of people. And you guys, especially if you're in Australia or Singapore, we know we have Success Resource Australia there. We know we've got Success Resource in Singapore. And when you have something in an abundance, you don't value it as much. But I'd like you to take a step back for a minute and think about what the company actually give you. And so for me, I always look at education, it's a matter of perspective. For me, everything in life is a matter of perspective. So if some people think, oh, you know, am I going to pay 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, 500, 200, whatever the amount is to go and attend that thing? Because they're thinking it is an expense. They're thinking it's an expense. Am I going to spend that money? It's how you frame it, it's how the perspective of how you value and how you see. Whereas when I look at education, I kind of think of it as an investment, because once I've learned something, I can go back and use it over and over and over. And it changes everything in my life. And therefore, I see it as an investment. And I would spend it because I believe I'm worth it and I deserve it. I'll spend education on my children because I think they deserve it and they're worth it. You spend money on your education at school, at uni, because you deserve it. And if you cannot afford not to spend that money on education, correct? And therefore, when it comes to your children, what happened? We send them to piano school. I've done that. Horse riding. I've done that to my children. Karate, yes. Ballet, music. We've exposed them to all these things. Why? Because we want them to be educated in that space and see how else they can enrich their life. But besides all that, and we would spend abundance amount of money and we wouldn't even question ourselves twice. We would not question ourselves twice on the equipment that you need for horse riding, for piano, for any other musical thing. We would not think twice. However, when it comes to go and invest in their life education, life education happens when they leave school and they've got that and the rest of their life. But when it comes to investing in the life education, we forgot. We forgot, and we kind of think, oh, should we spend money on that? I'm thinking, yeah, you absolutely should be spending money on that. Anything to help enhance and enrich your life, your children's life, your loved one's life is money worth investing in. So I don't see it as an expense. I see it as an investment. No difference, and we got to learn how to drive a car. We got to learn how to drive a car. You've learned it once. Then it doesn't matter where you go, you drive, you learn. I love dancing. So I do ballroom and Latin dancing. So I go and spend quite, like $100 an hour, and I go to the studio 2-3 hours a week, just dance with my teacher privately, and I learn certain skill. Why? Because I enjoy that, and I see myself doing that activity until the rest of my life. So therefore, it's an investment. I can leverage off my learning, correct, over and over and over for the rest of my life. So therefore, education, it's a matter of perspective for me, because I see it as an investment. When most people say, oh, I can't afford that, it means that you can, what you're saying to me is you can't afford to live an abundance life, and you can't afford and you don't want your family to live an abundance life, and they do it by example. So for me, education gives us mindset fitness. I mean, come on, okay? Everything we want to work on, we will get. If you want to go to the gym, why do we go to the gym? We go to the gym because we want to get fit, want to get physically fit, want to work those. If you want to build up big, like Clarence, for example, sometimes you see him come in and he does these, I don't know what he does, these things, which I can't do. I look ridiculous doing them, so I'm not going to attempt. But when you see Clarence, and if you ever meet him in person, and the right time, the right place, he will show you, and he looks incredible. He looks amazing. But the thing is, he has put time and effort into understanding the body, into understanding the muscle, and he's working on his muscles. And he selects, I want to work on my bicep, my tricep, my trap, my glutes, whatever, okay? And my pec. So he does all these things, and therefore he focuses on the muscles, right? And we all want to stay fit and healthy. So that topic, we'll leave it to Clarence to talk another time. But I'm happy to talk about the brain. So we often say, you use it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, but then how else do you lose it? How else? And how else do you use it? It's also important. Some people use their brain power. Okay, for example, those hackers. Do you know hackers are really intelligent people, but they kind of go, you know what? Whatever system you put up, I'm going to use my ability to break it down, and they enjoy the process. But if you can imagine, if they flip the change and they're going, I'm so smart, I'm going to be a contributor to society. And that's what Success Resources is all about, because they're contributing to society by bringing education. And I always remember that Richard always talked about, with education, those who don't have, can also have. It makes the playing field even, right? It makes the playing field even. So therefore, they're doing their bit to leave footprint and to contribute to society by giving you access to education. People can give you things, but unless you accept it, it still does not belong to you. People can bring everything straight to your doorstep, but you're not opening your hand, you're not embracing it. It still remains in front of your doorstep, and your house behind the doorstep is just a door away. Sometimes it's just a door away. So for us, I mean, when it comes to skill, I was talking about sports and music and school. I mean, we send our children to tutorial school, extra math, extra English, extra science, extra language skills, extra everything. But yes, that helps. That does help the children in some aspect. But can you imagine, by enriching them and giving them that unfair advantage, by giving them life skills, and to take them to something like UPW, a Tony Robbins event, helps them to establish that life skills. It makes them understand who they are, what they need, where they're at. And if you believe that is the time, now is the time to invest in yourself or your children. And I said to you before, I've done it with my children as a family, because we love that relationship. We love to build a relationship around supporting our dreams and goals, and understand where we are, right? So if you want to do that, I would highly recommend it, because it's something that I do, and I wouldn't recommend anything that I wouldn't do, right? So I mean, there was a talk about procrastination. I mean, this is something that when I'm at the events, people often talk about the challenges, and the two challenges they face most is procrastination, and of course the other one's fear. So when it comes to procrastination, I'm going to ask you why. Why are you doing it? And what is stopping you right now? Why are you procrastinating, and what's stopping you right now? When you go to a Tony Robbins program, it will explain to you. You will discover that. Would you not want to discover why you're constantly procrastinating, or why is there something that's stopping you and you can't identify it? But that's where you go there to identify these things, to solve these things. And when you want to tell your children that you want to live, you want to be an example to your children. Fix your surrounding problem, and they will also understand that they too can fix their surrounding problem. The other thing that we talk about, fear. So I mean, fear, you go there and you understand about fear too. But often I find that fear has to relate to loss and the discomfort. When people are having a lot here, they feel that if they're doing something else, they might lose what they currently have. If I quit my job right now and I go into that thing, I will quit, at least I'll lose my job. I'll lose income. They fear of what they already existing have. And then, of course, they fear about failure. I mean, hey, hello. Obstacles is an opportunity to learn. And learning, I mean, we see it as failure, we call it failure or setback or whatever, but you cannot move forward without failure or setback, right? And of course, the other amazing excuse that I heard from a friend of mine one day was, he said to me, Jennifer, if I was to be successful, I would lose all my friends and family. And I thought that was the most ridiculous thing ever. And I started laughing to his face. I thought he was joking, but he wasn't joking. And what he came to explain to me is that he goes, well, my friends and family start to move away from me because they said that I've changed. And I said, well, yes, you've changed. It's called growth. And therefore, to be able to be, once you've attended that Tony program, you will change because your mindset will change. Your perspective will change. You identify certain things in your life that you don't see that works. You change them. And by changing them, you realign yourself. And when you're realigning yourself, your network of people becomes different, right? Until one day, when you've walked so far and you look back, you don't understand that you've got nothing in common, or lesser in common with the people that you were before. So it's just a matter of change. But you haven't lost friends and family. You just find that when you're sitting down, you're having a conversation about the economy or whatever, then it's they don't have the same conversation. Okay. So lastly, I just want to remind you that Richard always says, fight for your dreams and your dreams will fight for you, right? He always says, fight for your dreams, don't give up on your dream, fight for your dream, and your dream will fight for you. I always say, don't give up on yourself, don't give up on your life education. So don't give up on yourself, don't give up on your life education. Why? Because you deserve it and your family deserve it. So I think we have almost time out now. So just a few more minutes okay, you know, Richard introduced him as the most handsome man. You're about to meet the most handsome man in Success Resources office. Come on, Gerard.
All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed Adam, Brennan's, and Jennifer's segment. Okay. Thank you, Adam. Check whether the. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank everybody that is still on the call, okay, who are still watching and still engaging with us. We really appreciate all your questions. And if you have any additional questions, you can just post in the comments on Instagram or even on Facebook, just type in below. And my team will be getting to you very shortly. So yeah, so just to recap what they said is that basically what Brandon said is that you gotta look 2 steps ahead. So in business, you see, whenever you are in control, you got to see what lies ahead of you. You see, so I was in this event this weekend. It's called Millionaire Mind Intensive. It's hosted by Robert and Thaddeus. It's a TF Ecker program. So one thing that they said is that in business or in life, when things are going smoothly, means you're going fast. When things are going rough, means you're slowing down. So it really depends on what lies ahead in front of you. You see, so one thing that I've really learned in this program is that in this world, there is a huge knowledge to get. Okay, have you ever wondered why the rich are getting richer and why the poor remains middle class and below? There is actually a fundamental truth to why this is happening. So in the Millionaire Mind Intensive, we went through these things. You know, there are certain opportunities that only the rich and the wealthy have access to. Okay, so attending such seminars or conferences will really enable you to open up your mind, not only in terms of knowledge, but also to meet like-minded individuals. So today we would like to share more about a couple of events that are upcoming in September and in October. So as you know, Tony Robbins will be coming to Singapore. Okay, he's the #1 personal development coach in the world, and like I've always said, he doesn't come to Singapore very often, and it's actually a privilege for us to actually attend his seminar and conference. Okay, and also in October, the following month, there's this event called Masters of the Century. So people like Nas Daily, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Advisors will be coming down as well. So this is a ticket, if you can see. Okay, so just like you know, some of the upcoming offers that are coming your way. Okay, so yeah. Okay. So for those of you who are on this call right now, we would like to thank you on behalf of my team and myself as well, that today we are offering you a very special offer for those of you who are interested to attend UPW's event and also MOTC. We have a very special deal. Okay, so Adam, can we tell them what we are giving them?
Guys, to Ronnie, you'll be getting the Unleash the Power Within bronze ticket. You'll be getting, along with the bronze ticket, you get the Masters of the Century diamond ticket. You'll be getting a photo op, a photo opportunity to take with one of the keynote. Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, and you'll be also receiving the.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
This is not just any journal, guys. This is the Robert Kiyosaki Dream Big Journal. And well, can you see it? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, because at the MOTC, I'm going to see if we can get Robert, and I'm sure Robert will be happy to sign your dream journal. We've only got like 20. So can you imagine starting your dream with Robert Kiyosaki with your Dream Big Journal from the same leather? Very nice, guys. Only 20, okay? Oh, and if you're doing UPW, Brandon, where are you? Quick. This is the other model. So we've got the, okay, this is, sorry, Lydia, honey, this is your jacket. So I'm going to model your jacket for you. Yes. You have your personalized jacket, UPW jacket. And at the back, this is the red version. And of course, this is the black version.
The red version and the black version.
Yep. And guess what? And how do you feel when you put on this jacket? Oh my God, this is like a must, right? I'm thinking every single time I put this jacket on, it kind of anchor and it takes me straight back to the event, doesn't it?
Exactly.
It's what I call the powerful jacket. So how can you not? Who wouldn't want that? Oh, personalized power jacket.
Exactly.
Right?
It brings you back to that moment, you know, when you're there, what happened, everything that you went through, it all comes back.
Correct. Things that makes you, you remember things at the event, right? Sometimes you put this on, it's a memory jacket.
Yep, exactly.
There you go. Exactly. So we'll let the boys go back and finish the offer. But hey, guys, do not miss your personalized jacket.
Okay, so yes, so over the last week or so, there are about 10 people who have already claimed their jackets because they took up this offer. Okay, so for those of you who want to find out more about what UPW is, what Tony Robbins event is all about, we are actually having a live workshop here in Singapore. Okay, on the 3rd and 4th of August. Okay, this weekend, from 2 to 6 o'clock at Suntec City Convention Center. So those of you who want to find out more, you can come down and you can contact us. Okay. Okay, so this is how you can contact us. Okay, if you would like to find out more about the offer or the UPW workshop, you can contact the sales team at 62994677, and or you could WhatsApp our marketing phone at this number. Okay, so do we have any questions that we can take right now?
Cool. We're gonna come and we're gonna say, Richard, wherever you are, I hope you have a safe flight.
And Veronica as well.
I have a okay.
She's on the way back from Mexico.
Perfect. We wish you have a safe flight, all of you, Lydia, Richard, Veronica, and see you soon. Bye. Me and 3 hot-looking men. What else? Everyone's jealous. Really? What?
You are just like a normal ending, so it's fine.